number 2. Ngiyayibonga ngoba imumethe into enza ukuthi ilizwe lakithi isizwe sibe lenhlonipho. Ngoba nxa umongameli engumongameli kumele azikhethele abantu abasebenza nabo. Okwenzela ukuthi ube nokuzwana nokuhloniphana. Xa ukuthi umuntu uzikhethele yedwa kwesinye isikhathi uthi engakwazi ukuthi omkhulu ubani. So ngiyakusapota kakhulu ukuthi umongameli azikhethele ama-vice presidents akhe. Ngoba ulungiselo kasilungiselo wakhe esilungisela isizwe sethu. Omuntu uyakuphikisa ukuthi ahloniphe. Ngibuye njalo ukota yabomama. Ngiyabonga kakhulu ngoba omama thina vele kunzima. Siyazi bani iconstitution yesizwe ithi kumele kube yi-50-50. Kodwa vele asebelisile ukuthi sibe bangaki. Ipipiyara le ikota le yasinceda ngoba siba isikileyo yenza omama sibe khona eParliament. Uma ingeke kungezelelwa kuthi ukuthi omama bayithola bathathe eParliament kuba vele akutheda mina. Ngibonga njalo kuma-local government vele akunda. Njengalapho engiphuma khona mina lapho yedwa ukhansila ngumama. So lokhu siyabonga kakhulu sinanzelele umama ukuthi ku-extend nge-2 terms. Siyakubonga umbono lomuhle kangaka. Ngithi into enhle esiyibongayo. Ngibonge njalo lama-youth, i-youth quota ekhona. Siyakwazi eZimbabwe i-70% ngabantwana abasakhulayo. Abantwana babala bayafuna ukuthi basondezwe lawo babe seduze. Uma iphumelela abantu baba into enhle kakhulu laba abasuka bekhuthala bezibona ukuthi yibo abakusasa, yibo ubukhokheli bakusasa. Kungakho ngiyabonga mina ngibona iqakathekile ngiyayisekela kakhulu. Ngisithi uminister ubuye le motion e-amendment bill constitution number 2. Siyayibonga. Ngithi bayizwe ngikhuluma ngesintu sakithi ukuthi umongameli azikhethele abasekeli bakhe ukuze kube nokuzwisisana nokusebenza kuhle. Ngiyabonga.
Senator Muturi. Thank you, Mr. President. My contribution today is to appeal to senators. This is the upper house, where serious decisions must be made. The Minister of Justice has just said he wanted to cure certain mischief on allowing the president to have his choice. Is he arguing that the whole constitution, which was tabled before the referendum, people were not thinking, they couldn't think that the president would not get someone to rule? Has he checked on the best practice elsewhere? However, what I understand the running mate is done in the United States is the running mate is chosen by the president himself. So I'm not sure what mischief we are trying to cure, or we are just interested in bringing in a deal. If there is some other mischief you want to cure, let's not do it for a person. Let's do it for the country. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable members, we shall be written in history as people who came here to agree on things that are destroying the country. The whole process of the constitutional amendment took years, more than 10, 20 years. Because you remember there was NCA, there were so many commissions trying to change the constitution so as to term one president who lasted us almost 40 years. And now we're calling ourselves a dispensation. In less than 10 years after having a constitution without even practicing the constitutional requirement once and seeing this short, we are already changing. I want to appeal to you, Mr. President, and honorable members, that let's not just do it for the sake of doing it. Let's do it for the sake of the country. Let's try it first. And as my colleagues have argued, how much consultation have we done to bring this amendment to this house? Number two, I'm not sure what mischief you are also curious. If we thought the interview by the public might not article, then we should have asked Parliament to interview the judge. What is the best practice elsewhere in terms of getting judges? Why were they subjected to the public? So that they will behave when they are making judgments, they know that for their promotion, they will still need public opinion, which makes them answerable to the public. So I'm not so sure what mischief we are also curing. Choice. The president has that choice. To me, we are just changing for the sake of changing. If you look what we've done with our local authorities, there is a clause which was introduced just to get rid of combine. There was a clause that was done to just get rid of. There was a clause that was done just to try to get rid of the last mayor. I remember it came with the minister of local government. They wanted to get rid of the last mayor, Ben Manyanyen. Let's not bring in laws that we want to get rid of a particular situation. Let's make laws that will make sure they last for tomorrow. And also, I'm not sure why we lumped all these changes together. There are certain changes that you might think they are to advance the nation, like the system of the quota for women, where we see that, yes, we've practiced it for 2 terms. We see the advantages. We can now alter it and maybe allow it to go on. That would be a good introduction, giving reasons of what we've seen, that at least we've managed to bring in more women into parliament. But now we have lumped this so that when people vote, They don't even know which one to vote. You might not agree with certain things and you want to agree with certain things. This amendment, the way it is being put, is meant to make people either forced to by trying to please one small community and also failing the whole nation. Mr. President, I feel that we need to look at devolution separately as well, and rather than the way we've looked at it. All we need to do is look at best practice and what is to the advantage of many. I don't mind the changes in the law government system, but we have not tried anything as well. We have not tried anything, or we have not even discussed to say what are we bringing to Parliament to ensure that these changes are to the advantage of the people. We represent people here, but sometimes we are not. We end up representing ourselves and our selfish ends. Zimbabwe will not get far if we represent our selfish ends and we don't behave like nationalists. If nationalists sometimes don't agree with their governments for the sake of progress. And I expect that we are nationalists and we will not agree with our government for the sake of progress and for the sake of our people. I think.
Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable Senator Mawetera, then Senator Kumalo, then Senator Ubi. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for giving me this very important deal. And Mr. President, allow me to say the Senate, this August House, has got an onerous task to make progressive laws to save Zimbabwe or to destroy Zimbabwe. And to frame a better future for the country. And we need to remove all our partisan interests and be patriotic in word. Mr. President, there is nothing wrong about amending a constitution. It's provided for in the constitution, but there must be reasons. A constitution is a sacred document. It is one which creates us. It is one which has created the state called Zimbabwe. And it cannot be just easily be amended because probably I had a nice dream and we change the whole constitution. Mr. President, I don't want to go down over the memory lane of how we 2013 constitution. It was a protracted struggle and with a lot of losses in the country. I don't need to go into the negative ramifications which came as a result of a bad constitution which we had. Allow me, Mr. President, to refer to one of my icons which I could actually, if you would allow me, the late Honorable Edson Shoko.
Well done. Honorable Senator, can you please switch off the mic? Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. I said, allow me to just refer to the memory lane and refer to one of my revered icons, Dr. Edson Shoko, during the passage of the executive president. And he said that was the darkest moment in the history of post-independent Zimbabwe, and was that passage of the bill of the executive president was an assault on democracy and human liberties. Mr. President, the late Dr. Zobo, his prophecy came to fruition. We created a monster who brought a lot of problems to the country, but he was referring to the Constitution. It's like a devil referring to the Bible to quote his, to justify his end. So I think Zimbabweans at this stage, I don't think the wounds are healed, and I don't think our memory is enough for us to. I think 2013 Constitution, Mr. President, people were very conscious of what they wanted. And that Constitution has got a history. That's why if you refer to our current Constitution, one of the founding values and principles, which is after what should define Zimbabwe, is the separation of powers. That is section 3 of the Constitution on our founding values, specifically section 3, subsection 2E, respect of the principle or doctrine of separation of powers. Why is it that we know absolute power corrupts? Mr. President, if I can now zoom to a specific, that is the section 92 of the running mate clause. Mr. President, I don't think we have got such amnesia as a nation to forget what befell the nation when we had someone who had the power to choose a vice president. There was wisdom in all this. We can't have a nation if the president resigns or he dies. We can't have a president who is chosen by a single person. That is completely unlawful. Let's not allow me, Mr. President, to quote in Shona, kuti tiite nyika sehuku inongoona painotecherera painodyira tisingaoni zvemberi. There is wisdom in the clause we're running it. People have to know who will take over their country when the incumbent either resigns or dies, not because he has been chosen by the incumbent. I don't want to be reminded of the most embarrassing situations I experienced as a peace-loving and a patriotic Zimbabwean, where in the previous dispensation we had a whole state vice president being embarrassed in public, being told by the first lady to say, you work at the mercy of the president. That is completely, and that is demeaning to Zimbabweans, and we are not allowed that to repeat itself. Those are some of the wisdom behind the people of Zimbabwe coming up with the running mate clause, with the president said. So we cannot, we know power corrupts, and we know the duty of a vice president is to advise, to assist the president with an independent mind, not that if I clash with the president, then I will be fired. And probably, if you are unfortunate, you may have to jump borders, like what happened here. We can't allow that to repeat. This is such a bad portion of our history to repeat against the president. And the only vaccination against that happening is to stick to what people chose. Let's not abuse our representation here as the parliament to say because we have got a majority, and people, then we vote for such unprogressive laws, we definitely need to open our minds. And unfortunately, politics is very funny, Mr. President. There are factions and counter factions. The people who are supporting it today, tomorrow they will be hounded. That is the beauty about politics, Mr. President. So, can we protect the people of Zimbabwe and the nation called Zimbabwe? I think there are three pillars which define a state. There's the judiciary, there's the executive, and there's the legislature. There was wisdom by the people when they said they had to have a say in choosing those separately. Now, when you now have the president appointing the judiciary, we have got a problem. Where's that independence? One who appoints can disappoint. And in Zara, allow me to use it in court, Mr. President. But not what is good for them, because I'm afraid of being dismissed, disappointed, because I have just decided to give an independent opinion which is contrary to the one who is in power. Mr. President, sir, I think this example for a running mate clause has been given is for smooth transition of power. And I cannot go and overemphasize that. But I will actually point outside borders, Mr. President said. What happened in the United States of America when we had a rogue president called Donald Trump, who wanted actually to go against all the norms of a progressive democracy and actually instigated insurrection against the state. But when the patriotic American, in the name of his vice president Mike Pence, who refused to follow his orders. Why? Because he was protected by the Constitution and he saved America. And Zimbabwe must learn what is good. I think as a nation, we hope to go to the next level. Definitely, this is a very unpopular clause, and I'm not a prophet of doom, but we have civil societies, people also starting to fight. We start again to create the MCA history after. Will that benefit Zimbabwe, Mr. President said? I appeal to honorable members. I know we have got party jackets, but those jackets are not above national jackets. And this is an onerous responsibility bestowed on us, Mr. President said, to defend the institution called Zimbabwe. And this is one of the oaths which we took was to protect my primary duty, among others, Mr. President, as I said before you, Mr. President, is to protect progressive aspects of the Constitution. Like I said, when I initial presentation, Mr. President said, it is normal and legal to amend the Constitution, but they have to be needed. With due respect to my honorable minister, on others, he gave a good example for provincial councils. That is very, I agree with him, he had reasons. But he was shy of telling us the progressive nature or what Zimbabwe is going to get in getting removing the running mate clause. I think Mr. President said, like my honorable colleagues who spoke before me said, we don't create a law for someone. And a law is better because it can be amended easily. But we can't change a constitution to target a particular person or a particular group. Zimbabwe belongs to everyone, Mr. President. And my fear is actually being confirmed. If we gave people who may not be responsible enough, we may have problems. But I believe believe the incumbent president may not be that person because he has suffered. If he was within us here debating this clause, he might probably be on my corner because he will be talking from experience, walking the talk, unlike some of us who are seeing from the terraces. The office of the presidency, that includes the vice president, is the presidency, is the sacrosanct and is a pillar and defines stability of the institution. And it has to be safeguarded and all and protected by law, not to produce any laws which are so loose, which means even if the president just wakes up and he's not yet with his vice president, he can fire the vice president. We are saying the president cannot fire vice president and choose his close friend or someone because we can't have Zimbabwe being run or by a president who is elected by one person. I think let's be very, if not in quotation, at least we are looking for a head of state. That is serious, and we need really to go beyond our personal interests and put the nation first. Mr. President says, allow me to proceed on the issue. I think on this issue of vice presidents, the running mate clause, I believe I've tried to do justice to it from a very impartial and a patriotic Zimbabwean who is making use of my very little experience, which I have experienced, but I was fortunate to see how this clause may be abused. And we are all in here testimony to it. And are we saying we want to go back there? Surely, I think progressively it's a big no, Mr. President. Then allow me to leave this issue, Mr. President, and proceed to the issue of the judiciary. Mr. President says, the stability of any state is dependent on the strength and independence of its judiciary. I don't know where is the wisdom of trying to protect someone who has reached 70 instead of allowing him to go and probably if he has got a small garden like myself or a farm like others, to go and enjoy the remaining part of his life, living a normal life.
Order. 5 minutes left.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think I'll zero down the rest. I think we are out 5. Mr. President, honestly, it defies logic. This is one of the reasons why we say in this country, gone should be the days when we enact legislation targeting as a particular individual. I may be wrong, I may be correct, but Mr. President, as a citizen of this country, I'm allowed to say what I think. This clause, Mr. President, I will call it a main clause to try to protect certain interests. There is no reason why we can protect someone who is saved. We have saved, some of them have saved from their 40s, High Court judge, other judge, up to Chief Justice. And instead of allowing them to go and you say we want you for 5 years. Honestly, what is it that he has failed, which he has failed to do, which you want him to? If you think you still need that person's service, then that person was not performing because he should have been empowering his juniors, because I know I'm waiting at the twilight of my age. And the skill I have, probably I'm gifted, I'll have to impart to this and allow myself to. So, Mr. President, I'm very much against this extension. And it actually, unfortunately, impinges on our democracy. It removes the independence of the judiciary. So, I think with those few words, Mr. President, allow me I appeal to my fellow respected honorable members to really be independent, decide ourselves, we don't go up here. Pachapera, and we Mangwana leader.
So, Honorable Senator, a few words. Honorable Senator Kumalo.
Honorable President, the Senate. The Constitution yathatha iminyaka eminingi kakhulu ingazange lokhu kusehlula kodwa kokuhle baze kwagcina kwenza nje yayisinto eziningi ngama-amendment ungafaka isigamba phezu kwesinye isigamba sigcina sidabuka besiyibuka sithi inhle imnandi i-constitution yakithi ngoba lilezinto eziningi phakathi kwayo ezenza ukubana isizwe sakithi siphakathi. Ngizaqala ngikhulume ngodaba lama-running mates. Udaba lolu lama-running mates beluvele lungafanelanga lokuthi sikhulume